babe. Stop doing that stupid shit. Oh, now you want to sit there like you was just sitting there? I will kill us right now. Please.
This is Chassity Sparkman, a 26-year-old mother of two from Sacramento, California, who drove herself to a public parking lot on Valentine's Day thinking she was going to have a calm conversation with her children's father. What happened instead was that she was shot and killed in front of witnesses while her husband's new girlfriend stood nearby and watched. What makes this case so difficult to sit with is that the warning signs had been building for years. He had already been to prison for what he did to her, and yet on the night of February 14, 2024, Chassity still agreed to meet him in that parking lot because he told her it was about their kids. She did not make it back home. Before we get into what happened that night, let us go back to the beginning because nothing about this case came out of nowhere.
She loved her family. She was very family oriented. If you know my sister, you know you guys could argue one day and she's gonna call you the next and say, I don't care about you being mad, girl, what you doing?
Chassity Rose Sparkman was born on July 17, 1997 in Sacramento, California, and she grew up in about as large a household as you can imagine. Her father, Alfonso Sparkman, had 20 children, and Chassity was right in the middle of all of that noise and energy. According to her family, she was the one who stepped in when things got heated between siblings, the peacemaker who somehow managed to bring the temperature down without taking sides. That role followed her into adulthood, and it is a thread that runs through her story in ways that become very hard to read in hindsight. Her father, Alfonso, told reporters that Chassity was the kind of daughter who called him every single day, not just on holidays or birthdays, but consistently, routinely, every day. And the people around her described her in strikingly similar terms, regardless of how well they knew her. Beyond being a daughter and a sister, Chassity had built a life for herself that she was genuinely working to expand. She was enrolled at Sacramento City College studying psychology. She ran a small hair and lashes business, and she was also working on a music career on the side, occasionally sharing her work online. Her sister, Nayana, later recalled that Chassity had been genuinely excited about graduating and that her desire to finish school was tied directly to wanting a better future for her two children. Those two children, her son Zion, who was 8 years old, and her daughter, Princella, who was 6, were at the center of every decision Chassity made. Everything she did was for her kids, according to people who knew her well. And that context becomes important later when we look at the choice she made on Valentine's Day. Isaiah Lee James was Chassity's childhood sweetheart, and their relationship began the way a lot of these stories do, with something that looked entirely normal. They met at Monterey Trail High School in Sacramento around 2013, and in the early years, family photos and videos captured James as an engaged, present father, someone who seemed invested in the life they were building. They had their two children together, and on September 20th, 2019, they got married. From the outside looking in, it appeared they were trying to make the family work. The complications, though, had been present long before the wedding. James had a child from a previous relationship, and that situation introduced a layer of jealousy and online tension into their world early on, including public arguments with his ex that Chassity was not removed from. As far back as January 2017, Chassity posted on Facebook about living with an irritating man, while also saying she was committed to making it work for the sake of their child. By March 2019, she was posting photos of herself preparing meals, describing herself as a wife, taking pride in her role. Taken together, those posts paint a picture of someone who was actively trying, even as things around her were becoming more unstable. Then, around 2019, Isaiah James was incarcerated based on incidents that directly involved Chassity. She reported that he had threatened her and that he had kidnapped her, and as a result, a protective order was filed, and James went to prison. He was incarcerated for roughly 3 years, with his release estimated around 2022 or 2023. During that time, recorded jail calls revealed a pattern of accusations and control directed at Chassity from prison. James interrogated her about her loyalty, accused her of infidelity and neglect, and questioned what she was doing while he was away. Chassity, for her part, pushed back in those calls, calling him dishonest and defending her independence while making clear her frustration with the situation. She was raising 2 young children on her own, while simultaneously fielding accusations from a man who was locked up for what he did to her. And her social media from that period reflects exactly that kind of exhaustion. During James's incarceration, Chassity also began a separate relationship with another incarcerated individual named Isaiah Frazier, and she was open about it on social media, sharing anniversary posts and affectionate messages. In October 2020, she posted about celebrating their 1-year anniversary, expressing genuine happiness. According to accounts, James became aware of this relationship, which intensified the accusations and jealousy present in those jail calls.
They can't even hear you, babe. They can't even hear you. Huh? I don't know.
Tyreek was with me. I took him back home and everything because I had to come back multiple times. I was bringing him to see his dad.
Please, can I see that again? Y'all, he got me a picture drawn of me and I don't give a f. Babe, let me see it. It was so beautiful. I looked hella cute though. Babe, please. Can I please see it? Please, no, babe, I'm not talking to you till you show me that. Why'd you give me a glimpse? You said you want me down here to see something, but you didn't show me it. You didn't, I barely seen it. I seen a glimpse. Can I please show my life? Why? Is it not finished? Oh, you want to send it? Oh, okay. Let me see it. Oh my God, babe. Who got bars like, you love me. You, on my mama you didn't. You, on your mama you drew that? Oh my God, you drew that for me? Wow. Can you, is there any way you can put it in a big thing? It's not, you gonna have to fold it down.
By August 2022, Chassity's posts began to reflect feelings of betrayal and hurt, with references to being wronged by people close to her, though she did not name anyone directly. Around the same time, or shortly after James was released, James began a relationship with a 25-year-old woman named Iona Tajani Burgos. Chassity's posts from late 2022 also included references to infidelity and sneakiness, and while she remained focused on co-parenting and building her own life, the wounds from the relationship's collapse had clearly not healed on either side. On February 11, 2024, just 3 days before her death, Chassity posted on social media about wanting to surround herself with positive, classy women as a path to real peace. That was the headspace she was in going into Valentine's Day weekend. February 14, 2024 did not begin at night. It started earlier in the day when Isaiah James came to Chassity's home in Sacramento. What started as what appeared to be a visit related to their children escalated into a physical assault. Chassity's cousin and aunt figure, Vanessa Renee Adams, the woman the family calls Dee Dee, was present in the home and witnessed the attack firsthand. Vanessa later confirmed everything she saw to investigators. After leaving the home, James called Chassity. He told her he was sorry, and he suggested they meet in a public place so they could talk things through calmly and figure out what was best for the kids. He framed the meeting specifically around their kids and around safety, emphasizing that a busy, open location would be neutral ground. Chassity agreed to meet him at the Lake Crest Village Shopping Center parking lot, located near the intersection of Florin Road and Greenhaven Drive in Sacramento's Pocket neighborhood, not far from a Sherry's Cafe and Pies. She arrived alone that night at around 11:15 to 11:20. James was not alone. He had arrived with Ayanna Burgos, and as Chassity stepped out of her car, James pulled out a weapon and shot her. A witness who was nearby heard the gunfire, saw Chassity collapse, and immediately called 911. Police and paramedics responded quickly, found her with life-threatening wounds, and rushed her to a nearby hospital, where Chassity Rose Sparkman was pronounced dead. James and Burgos left the scene without rendering any aid or alerting emergency services, and they fled Sacramento immediately afterward.
Late night in a shopping center parking lot. A woman is killed, and days later, the shooter is still on the run. The family of the mother killed last week in the Pocket neighborhood is pleading with whoever is responsible to turn themselves in.
Yeah, her family says the victim is a 26-year-old loving mother of 2 young children. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias has their emotional plea for help.
A slew of emotions hit as this Sacramento family tries to understand how their sister, 26-year-old Chassity Sparkman, was on Valentine's Day.
It's especially hard for her kids. My auntie has to sit here and, deal with the mood swings, and she's trying to cope herself, so we're not okay. We're trying to be, but we're not okay.
Happened around 11:30 p.m. Wednesday in the Lake Crest Village Shopping Center in the Pocket neighborhood. Sparkman's family says from what they know, Chassity was there meeting with her husband when things turned violent.
We want to know the truth, We want an investigation. Justice. We want justice. We want them to turn themselves in. If they had nothing to hide, then they should be able to come forward and clear their name. We're just hurting.
We asked police if she was there meeting her husband. They told us they're actively looking for suspects and don't want to compromise the investigation. As her family searches for answers, they're trying to focus on the lasting memories made with Chassity.
She was a firecracker. She loved everyone. She loved her family. She was very family oriented. If you know my sister, you guys could argue one day and she's gonna call you the next and say, I don't care about you being mad, girl, what you doing?
The mother leaves behind 6-year-old daughter, Princella, and 8-year-old son, Zayani. The family hopes her children can get through it.
That they could just hold on to the memories and the love that their mother has for them. And that God gives them strength to get through it because they're just babies.
Her sisters, parents, and children hope the shooter will come forward and turn themselves in.
It's to do the right thing so we have our closure. She deserves that. She deserves it. She was such a light. She didn't deserve to die the way she did. She didn't deserve it.
A light taken way too soon. Again, the victim was just 26 years old. And if you'd like to help the family, they have set up a Cash App account where you can make donations for the children. We'll have that on our website, abc10.com. Meanwhile, the family is also pleading with the community to come forward to the police if they saw or know anything about the case. We're also told there is a vigil planned at the Lake Crest Shopping Center Wednesday at 6 p.m.
In the aftermath, the Sacramento Police Department launched a thorough investigation, drawing on surveillance footage from the shopping center, phone records, financial transaction data, and tips from the public. Chassity's family did not sit quietly during that process. Her father, Alfonso, took to social media and publicly identified James and Burgos by name, posting an emotional plea for any information and demanding accountability.
Yes. For the first time, we are hearing from the father of a mother of 2 who was shot and killed in a popular shopping center in the Pocket neighborhood. This as the family of Chassity Sparkman gathers for a candlelight vigil in honor of a daughter taken too soon. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias is live at the Lake Crest Village Shopping Center where Chassity was shot. Roxanne, such a tragic loss, and the family is still looking for justice.
It is, Laura, and yes, they are Right now, as we speak, family, friends of Chassity Sparkman gathering in the parking lot across from Cherie's restaurant. They're bringing balloons, sharing hugs, bringing flowers. Very sad day for them as they remember their loved one. They still have so many questions, trying to figure out exactly what happened in this parking lot where Chassity was actually killed. They now are demanding justice as they search for what happened here.
I still don't believe it. I still feel like it's a dream. I'm waiting on her to bust through the door.
Alfonso Sparkman says he's angry and in shock, knowing he will no longer hear from his 26-year-old daughter, Chassity Sparkman. The mother of two was shot and killed on Valentine's Day last week in the Lake Crest Village shopping center. Her family says from what they know, she was meeting with her husband. But Sacramento police are still investigating what led up to her death. Alfonso says he's trying to get to the bottom of it.
I want to know the truth because it hits different. You know, so people understand, I've lost a lot. I've lost a lot in my time, brothers, sisters, mother, father, stuff like that, cousins. But it hits different when it's your child. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that kid blowing my phone up all day, every day no more.
The father of 20 children says his daughter was studying psychology at Sacramento City College. She mainly would focus on her music, work, and caring for her kids. Those kids will now be adopted by her aunt, which was Chassity's request. Alfonso now asking why this happened to his daughter.
It's kind of like being hurt, sad, angry, and afraid at the same time. Because you don't know what to be mentally. You know what I'm saying? My emotions all over the place.
Sacramento police say there are no suspects in custody, but they met with investigators Wednesday afternoon as they look into leads to find those responsible. Alfonso says he's putting his trust in police, asking his community to bring to light any information they may have.
As soon as they get apprehended, I feel a lot better. Once I know they're in custody, I'll be able to breathe. Because jail is hell for anybody. Because I feel once you're behind bars, you consider you deceased.
Back out here live, Alfonso says he appreciates everyone reaching out to him, but he says it has been somewhat overwhelming. He's asking instead for the community to show him support by coming out here tonight and sharing any information they may know about what happened on that night. The family also has a GoFundMe account set up for the children because, of course, they're left without a mother now.
Meanwhile, James and Burgos were traveling. According to investigators, the two covered approximately 2,800 miles across the country and ended up in New York City, where they stayed for the next month while the investigation was active in Sacramento. On February 21, 2024, 1 week after the shooting, more than 100 family members, friends, and community supporters gathered at the Lake Crest Village shopping center parking lot for a candlelight vigil at 6 in the evening. They wore pink, which was Chassity's favorite color, and they carried heart-shaped balloons while lighting candles and sharing memories of her. Chants of justice for Chassity could be heard throughout the vigil, alongside calls for an end to gun violence, all while no arrests had been made and the two suspects remained unaccounted for. Her cousin, Renee Jones, told reporters that Chassity made a point of saying, "I love you," every single time she left a room. That was a habit of hers, something she did consistently. Her sister, LaShalland, spoke about where the family was emotionally in those first days, telling reporters, "We're not okay. We're trying to be, but we're not okay."
Yeah, family members are calling on whoever did this to turn themselves in. They described Chassity Sparkman as a loving mother who loved life and had so much more left to live.
Chassity Sparkman! Chassity Sparkman won't be forgotten.
She's nothing but joy, you know what I'm saying? And man, we just love her. We just miss her so much.
Don't forget about my sister.
Sparkman's family members say she was the woman in a Sacramento shopping center on Valentine's Day.
Violence. We gotta stop. We gotta stop the violence.
The Sacramento Police Department says its detectives are still investigating and no arrests have been made. 1 week later.
Don't forget that my sister is not here anymore because she was somebody important.
at the Lake Crest Village Shopping Center in Sacramento's Pocket neighborhood. More than 100 friends, family, and loved ones gathered.
She never missed saying, I love you. When she exits, she gonna let you know that she loves you.
It didn't have to happen.
Calling for justice, demanding accountability, and mourning the young mother's death.
More than life itself, Chassity loved her children. Her children was her world. Everything Chassity did was for her kids.
Families say Sparkman was 26 and a mom to 2 children.
She was going to school for business. She was just starting out with her music career, and I just can't say enough.
And as they gathered, many wearing pink and with heart-shaped balloons, they remembered and grieved.
Justice for Chassity. Justice for Chassity. We love you.
We spoke with the Sacramento Police Department about this case tonight. We were told they were unable to release any updates as to not compromise their investigation. Meanwhile, Sparkman's family is raising money for her 2 children, ages 6 and 8.
Yeah, just a hard time for that family. Leon, thank you so much.
Nyana, Chassity's older sister, recalled in interviews how genuinely excited Chassity had been about finishing college, how that degree was something she was building toward with her children's future in mind, and how the family now had to process the fact that she never got there. In terms of practical next steps, Chassity had already made arrangements for her children well before any of this happened. She had designated her aunt Vanessa Renee Adams, Dee Dee, as the person who would take custody of Zion and Princella in the event of an emergency, and that arrangement took effect immediately after Chassity's death. Chassity's sister Nyana Ludd also organized a GoFundMe titled Justice for Chassity, which aimed to raise $10,000 to support the children, and the family set up a Cash App account under the name Justice for Chassity for additional contributions. On March 12, 2024, a month after Chassity was killed, a coordinated effort between the Sacramento Police Department and the FBI led to the arrest of Isaiah James and Ayanna Burgos in New York City. What made that date significant beyond the arrests themselves is that March 12th was also the day of Chassity Sparkman's funeral at St. Paul Church. The arrests and the funeral happened on the same day. Both James and Burgos were 25 years old at the time, and they were held pending extradition to Sacramento, where they were charged with homicide-related offenses. Police declined to publicly confirm a motive at that point in order to protect the integrity of the case, though the family's account consistently pointed to a history of relational tension, jealousy, and control that stretched back years. Vanessa Renee Adams spoke to reporters about how the family received the news of the arrests and what followed at home for the children. She said, "It's a blessing knowing that they're caught and justice is going to be served." She also shared that Zion and Princella reacted with joy when they heard, and that for the first time since the shooting, the children were sleeping through the night. Alfonso Sparkman spoke about the relief he felt when he heard about the arrests, though he was careful to describe it accurately. He told reporters that the month of waiting had been frustrating, very frustrating, and that when the arrests came through, it was not a large relief, but it was a relief. He had also been vocal about the weight of not hearing from Chassity every day, something that had been a constant in his life and was now simply gone.
New tonight, the family of a mother killed on Valentine's Day is breathing a sigh of relief as they are one step closer to justice. Sacramento police arrested 2 people suspected in the death of Chassity Sparkman. ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha joins us live in studio with where the investigation stands now and the family's message. Garshpal.
Yeah, Laura, the family has so many questions as to why this happened, and they're hoping those answers come soon as the 2 people arrested go through the judicial system.
Out of Laura's relief, it was a relief.
Relief after almost a month for Alfonso Sparkman and his family. Sparkman's daughter, Chassity, shot and killed in the Lake Crest Village Shopping Center on Florin Road in Sacramento.
Still can't understand, you know what I'm saying? I'm still in the daze. It's been a month and I'm still my mind is still, I ain't wrapped my head around it. It was frustrating, very frustrating. You know, the act of not knowing what's going on.
Sparkman says he was blindsided by the heartbreak of losing his daughter, but thankful arrests have been made. Chassity is described as energetic, outgoing, and always with a smile. her 2 kids, 6 and 8 years old, left behind.
We'll never get that back, but we happy and we cherish the time that God did allow us to be with her.
The Sacramento Police Department says Isaiah James and Ayanna Burgos, both 25 of Sacramento, were taken into custody in New York City.
Our hope is that, just at the very minimum, we can provide some justice and some closure.
Officer Anthony Gamble with the Sacramento Police Department says with the help from the FBI, they made the arrests.
Just because you commit a crime here and you think that you're going to get away by going to another city or another state or across the country, our investigators are really world class and they're going to find you.
The family says they were surprised these suspects were arrested in New York, but now they're turning their attention to the children as they live life without their mother.
But when they found out, they're relieved just as much as anybody else. I know my nephew, he said that he got some good sleep. So, that says everything.
Now, no court date has been set for the duo arrested, and they will need to be extradited here to Sacramento, and they're both facing homicide charges and possibly even more as the investigators continue to follow up on tips. Laura.
Yeah, still a lot of information to sift through. A lot of questions still remain. But Garthpaul, did police say anything about the relationship between the family and the people arrested?
Yeah, so far the Sacramento Police Department have not confirmed the relationship between the suspects and the victim. But the family tells us is that the pair that were arrested, one of them is her husband, and then the other person is the girlfriend of the husband. So again, that's only from the family. Police are still conducting their investigation, hoping to speak to more witnesses.
Right. As the investigation continues, we know that Chassity was still so young, her life taken away so soon, and she still leaves behind those 2 beautiful children.
Yeah.
We know that you'll continue following this story for us. Just a heartbreaking story. Our hearts go out to that family. Garthpaul Sangha, thank you.
The legal proceedings that followed stretched over the course of more than a year. The case was filed in Sacramento Superior Court on February 21, 2024, and over the months that followed, it went through multiple continuances and preliminary hearings, with sessions running from June 2024 into January 2025. The case information was formally amended on January 24, 2025, and trial readiness conferences continued through July of that year. On October 30, 2025, Isaiah James was sentenced in Sacramento Superior Court. The court disposed of the case and referred it to probation for a state prison packet, indicating that Isaiah was going to state prison, though the exact length of the sentence has not been specified in publicly available records. Ayanna Burgos was charged alongside James as a co-defendant throughout the process, given that she was present during the shooting and fled the country with James in the weeks that followed. Her specific outcome, however, has not been publicly confirmed in available records as of early 2026, and it remains unclear what sentence, if any, she ultimately received. In the time since the sentencing, the family has continued to figure out how to carry this story forward in a way that honors her. Her relatives have spoken about wanting to place roses at the Lake Crest Village Shopping Center site every February 14th as an annual tribute, a reference to her middle name, Rose. Online memorials, including entries on gun violence remembrance sites, continue to document her life and what happened to her. What the family has consistently said across every interview is that while the arrest and sentencing brought a measure of acknowledgement, none of it replaces what Chassity's children lost. They are growing up knowing their mother through stories, through photos, and through the people she left behind who loved her. What do you think about it? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.